Hello, everyone. My name is Alexander J., and I am a Turo host here in the Tucson, Arizona area. I'm going to be going over the 5 main tips that you need to know whether you're thinking about getting into Turo, you already are a Turo host, or maybe you're just kind of considering your options. So these 5 tips hopefully will give you a better understanding of what it looks like to be a Turo host and help you that already are out. So let's get started. Okay, so right out of the gates, I want to say you're going to want to stick around for the 5th tip. It's something that's definitely looked over. It's going to help you protect your assets, and I feel like a lot of people aren't talking about it. So stick around to the end to hear that one out. Tip number 1 is maintenance. Maintenance on your vehicles is very important. Whether you're buying a $5,000 vehicle that fits into the Turo criteria or buying a brand new car, you need to realize that maintenance is a huge factor. Something as simple as your brakes and rotors, not going with super cheap brakes, super cheap rotors, just for the simple fact that they're cheap. Because if you have a car that's going down the road and say the brakes are squeaking, that can ultimately hinder your business. If you get a low maintenance score, it's going to bring you down on the search criteria. Also, you don't want bad reviews. So it's really important. Keep up on your maintenance. Be sure to message your guests and ask them if there's anything on the vehicles that they notice maintenance-wise that could use attention, because I know that you're not going to be the one driving the vehicle, hundreds of miles over the course of however many days. So there could be things that you look over that the guest notices that maybe they may not bring up to you, that they can leave a negative review on your account, and that can really hinder you. So keep up on your maintenance, keep up on your oil changes, keep up on any type of dents, dings, cosmetic things that may show on the exterior or interior of the vehicle, ultimately can hurt your business in the long run. So maintenance is very, very important. Number 2, and I know this sounds crazy, but I'm going to say the cleanliness is one part of number 2, but the other part is smelling good. I myself, if I rent a vehicle or step into anybody's home or anywhere I go, or even another individual, if those places smell bad or that person or whatever smells bad, it's not a good look. So if you're renting out your car on Turo and somebody steps inside of it, whether it be smoke, smell, or something that's been left in the back, it doesn't matter. Make sure your vehicle smells good, okay? The common cleanliness, that seems like a no-brainer. It doesn't matter if a vehicle of mine comes back looking completely spotless. I promise you, I'm still vacuuming underneath every single floor mat. I'm vacuuming every single seat. And if there are any little spots or anything anywhere, I'm making sure that I'm disinfecting anything, but any little spots anywhere, I'm cleaning everything off, whether it be the seats, the dash, no fingerprints. I'm making sure that my cars are meticulously kept, no matter what, through and through. But finally, like I said, making sure that the vehicle smells good. When somebody opens that door, it's their first impression of your car. Just put a tree up. Put a tree up. Spray some smell good, whatever it may be, whatever scent that you think would be universally liked. I personally use the little trees I purchase off of Amazon. I buy them in 24 packs. I use the soft linen, I think it is. It's a nice, clean scent. It's not overpowering. I've had a ton of comments on how good my cars smell, ultimately leading to a good review. Number 3, automate your messages. Go ahead, take some of the burden off of yourself, okay? If you have an automatic messaging system, which Turo, they offer, make sure that you're setting those messages that go ahead and clear your guidelines. Make sure that all your standards that you have set for your car specifically, and for me, for my vehicles, it's stating that you can't go to Mexico because I'm close to the border. I've had vehicles stuck at the border of Mexico for 3 months, ultimately hindering my revenue, my cash flow. The car is not doing anything. I don't know if I'm going to get it back. Power of attorneys, all these things, these hoops you have to jump through in order to navigate something like that. So ultimately, my opening message is going to be telling them the simple things, the checklists of how this whole process is going to work, because sometimes it's going to be somebody who's brand new to the Turo platform. So you want to be very clear. One thing is how the key exchange is going to work. If you're going to have a lockbox, if you're going to be leaving it in the center console, however it is you'd like to run your business, just make sure that those things are bullet pointed in that opening message. Then I have a message that's sent to them 12 hours prior to them checking out. Now, this message gives them the opportunity to extend their trip. If they don't think that they're going to make it back in time, they have the ability to extend their trip. Now, that's super important. That message right there has generated more revenue than any other message that I could possibly send, because it lets the guests know, hey, listen, if your time with the vehicle wasn't enough, go ahead, extend your trip. In the message, it states if they cannot find it in the application itself, I leave the Turo customer service phone number on there so they can call and extend their trip easily. Having those messages integrated really helps for a seamless experience for the guest and for myself. It takes a lot of the back and forth off my plate, ultimately resulting in longer trips, which ultimately results in more revenue, and it alleviates a lot of my time. Now, one thing that I would recommend as well is maybe within that message or another message that asks them the bullet points that Turo asked them. So in the rating system, it's asking, I believe it's maintenance and cleanliness and all these different things, right? So bullet point those in that message, asking your guests to tell you what's going on so you can address it. It's very important, because you don't want them reporting to Turo that, say there was a maintenance issue that they didn't end up telling you about. You want to hear it firsthand and give them the peace of mind that, not only do you acknowledge it, but it's going to be fixed, and that's not something that you as a Turo host or business owner would like your guests to be experiencing. So super important. You have your opening message. You have your message 12 hours prior to checkout. I also have a post-trip message. So that's 3 messages in total. And this one will be set 12 to 24 hours after their trip. Mine is set to 12 hours. But this is basically thanking them for being our guest. If you want to offer them discounts for their next trip, you can do that via the Turo app as well. And let them know that you have other vehicles available or whatever it is that you want to add. Just give them a thank you for being your guest. Thank you for taking care of the vehicle, or whatever it is that you want to say. Just give them a nice little see you later. Number 4, it seems like a no-brainer. It's insurance, okay? I think there are plenty of insurers for your off rental times. So anytime that you're personally going to be driving the car, you do not want to use your personal insurance. You need to go with somebody that allows you to rent the vehicle on Turo. And it doesn't matter if you own the car outright or you have a lease for the vehicle, you need to have insurance. There's a few different insurance providers that are really good. A lot of people use, I believe it's ABI, American Business Insurance. I think it's GMI as well. And there's quite a few. And Turo also has their own platform now where they offer insurance. So compare and contrast a few different companies, see what's going to work best for you. Make sure you look at your deductibles. Don't jump into this business with your personal vehicle and just let it go. You need to make sure that your assets are insured properly, and maybe your personal insurance provider will allow you to rent on Turo. So make sure to make that phone call, have that conversation with your provider, tell them what you're trying to do, and whether you're making a little bit of side scratch by renting out your car, or you want to turn this into a full-fledged business, or maybe you already are. I hope that you have your insurances in place. Number 5. Okay. So first off, I want to thank you for getting to the end of the video. I'm trying to keep this short, sweet, to the point, because I recorded this video once before and I'm reading off these notes and I'm doing all this thing. Feel very inauthentic. So here I am. I'm just verbally vomiting everything for you, and hopefully it turns out well. But anyways, number 5, the one you've been waiting for. There's 3 parts to this, because I think it's common knowledge that you need to know where your vehicle is at any time while it's out on a rental. It's very, very important. And when I started this business, I simply utilized a little tracker, an Apple AirTag. Now, would I recommend that for anybody who's just starting? Debatable. I would say go get yourself something that plugs into the OBD2 port. Now, there's quite a few different brands. I personally went with the Bouncy. So I not only have an AirTag, which I disclose in that opening message that this car has an AirTag in it, so it doesn't freak out your guests when they're being followed by an AirTag. Important. But I also have the Bouncy in there. And I also disclose in that opening message that if the car is being used illegally, meaning goes outside of my geofenced area close to the border of Mexico, or is exceeding 100 miles per hour for however many times, that I am going to be monitoring those things. It's important to keep your assets safe. I cannot say that enough. Please put some sort of monitoring in your vehicles. You need to know how the vehicle is driven. I have mine set up to not only tell me when it's hard acceleration, hard braking, reaches in excess of 100 miles an hour, or leaves my geofence. But here's the kicker. I also have a pastime GPS interlock system hooked up to the vehicle. And this is also stated in my first message, stating that if my guest does not tell me that they are traveling southbound and gets close to the border of Mexico, I can and will shut off the vehicle. But this interlock system, in tandem with the Bouncy, I think is the absolute best route that you can take to ensure that your assets are safe. Your Bouncy is going to give you that real-time updates. It's going to give you if the car's driving, when it was parked, if there's impacts detected, which is fantastic. It's going to give you the nice big geofence. But the pastime GPS is going to allow you to shut the vehicle down. So if you see that the car's been going 150 miles an hour, or I have economy cars, so not too often does that happen. But if you do see that your vehicle is being misused and abused, you can shut the car off. So next time that they go to start it, it will not start. You have your Bouncy GPS and your pastime GPS. It's already set up, so you know exactly where your vehicle is at, and you have your AirTag as well. I'm just stating that these three things working in conjunction is the best way to protect your assets. In conclusion, make sure your communication is good. Automate that as best you can. Make sure your car is clean. Go through car washes or wash it yourself, whatever you do. In between every single ride, make sure it's always vacuumed out. Make sure it smells good. Make sure your car is well maintained. Ask your guests if they notice anything so you don't get a bad review. Just get one step ahead of the game. It's super, super important. Thanks so much, you guys. I'm Alexander J. And leave some comments. Let me know about your Turo fleet. Let me know what area you're in, what's working best for you, because every area is a little bit different when it comes to actual vehicle choices and things like that. But these 5 staples that I gave you, those are going to be just the ground floor. These are the absolute basics of the basic. And if you have any questions for me, let me know. I'd be happy to answer. And I'll continue to make some videos on my journey. I'm going to be making a video soon here about how to properly structure your business so you can ensure maybe some business funding or putting cars into your business name. And all that stuff's exciting. But anyways, I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Deuces.